I'm on the way to the garage to get the car repaired again. What does it mean for me? Loads of money. What does it mean for you lot? Well, you get one of these silly videos of a day in the life of Mr. Travel-On. Living in Spain and the Canary Islands, it's not all fun. We're going to take the car in and I'm going to take you on a little adventure. It is 32 degrees. It is roasting outside. I'm going anywhere where there's aircon. So join me for a day in the life of Mr. Travel-On. Let's go. I'm heading to Playa to the Ford garage. Now, you might not be interested in what's wrong with the car, but I'm going to give you some context of why I'm heading there. To cut a long story short, the car was making a noise when I was driving. I took it to the Ford garage. They said they couldn't get me in for 6 weeks. Absolutely ridiculous, but that's the beauty of living on a tiny little island like this. So I took it to 2 separate garages who plugged the computer in and said, the computer says no, as in the computer says there's nothing wrong with your car. And I'm saying it's making a noise. Can you not hear it? It's squealing like a cat. Well, we don't know what it is. Why? Because nobody these days seems to have the education or the skills to do anything but ask a computer. So what did I do? I drove the car home. I didn't pay any of these people. And I asked ChatGPT, what could the problem be? ChatGPT gave me 3 options to check. I checked every single one of those. And the last option was a big air tube. And it said it could be that. Lo and behold, I took the little sock off and there was a gaping hole that was making the noise. 3 cable ties later and a bit of tape and I'd actually fixed my own car. Do I need the tube replaced? I don't think I do, but better to be safe than sorry. So I ordered the part with Ford and then I could wait for the appointment, couldn't I? But it's been driving fine. There is a little bit of background on what is going on with the car and a little bit of a rant that people just don't seem to have the skills to do anything these days, do they? Anyway, I've paid for the part. It's sat there in Ford. I'm going to pay them to replace the part because whilst I trust ChatGPT to tell me how to do it, I certainly don't trust myself. Anyway, that's the boring bits out the way. I shall see you when we're in Playa and we'll go and have some fun. Well, there you go. The car is in and look at the state of me. I look like a right tit, don't I? I look like I'm going to play golf. Mrs. Travel-On said, what are you wearing? You look like you're going to play golf. I said, well, if it's good enough for golfers, it's good enough for me. I'll explain why I look like this in a minute. I don't usually tuck things in, but we'll talk. We are literally just opposite the airport. I'm going to show you the airport there, and I'm going to head in this direction into Playa. They said the car will take hour and a half. Easy. Come on, let's go for an adventure. So literally, look, there's the airport. This is where you come and buy a car if you live here. Well, if you want to. They're a bloody nightmare though. And there is a little binter plane taking off, look, right over our heads, look. And if you haven't already seen the videos of me on the binter planes, well, they're on here somewhere. We can get a good old view from the airport, and just over there is where the airport webcam is. So I do actually look like I'm about to play 18 holes of golf, don't I? I've never played golf before, for those of you that are wondering. I don't even see the appeal of it, especially in this heat. It's about 34 degrees and a massive Kalima in the sky, look. You can see, I'll show you as we go around. But yeah, I certainly don't want to be playing golf in this weather, but this t-shirt's a little bit too big for me. I was in a rush, I put it on, it looked too big, so I tucked it in. I thought, shall I have my shirt tucked in today? I think it'll be the first and last time. I honestly look like a right Peter, don't I? So the Cabrera Medina group are the ones that own the car hire, and they also own the place where you buy cars. Just like the car hire, their after service is shocking. Now, I've had no problems with the Ford Ranger at all, and I always pay for a full service with Ford because it's good for the paperwork, isn't it, to say I've got full Ford service history. But the first problem that I've ever had, a 6-week wait to sort it out. Now, if this was a problem that I couldn't drive the car, I'm never going to buy a brand new car off them again, if that's the way that it is, you know what I mean?
that yes, they'll take your money off for a service, and it's expensive to get a service there. So they're happy to take your money for that, and you're happy to wait. You know, if you go in and say, right, car's due a service, yeah, we can get you in 3 weeks. Fine, I'll wait. But when there's a problem, you want the car in. But even the guy that worked there said, we've got a major problem here. Too many cars, not enough staff. You know, we're constantly doing services, but it means that we can't fix problems. So, yeah, Cabrera Medina, I don't think I'd buy another car off them, although they're the only ones that sell the Ford Rangers, so who knows? They tend to have a monopoly over everything. And of course, they're the biggest car hire company, and we all know the story of their after sales with that. I'm not a fan at all. Anyway, I'm coming into Aldi. I'm going to get myself a drink. Will I get a drink from the Aldi? I might actually get a drink from the petrol station on the end. I'll show you Aldi. So there you go, that's the big Aldi, which is always empty. In fact, I will take you in here, because it's like being in an apocalyptic supermarket. Wait till you get up here. No one's ever in here. You got Lidl and Mercadona just around the corner. No one ever comes in here. I guess if you want a peaceful day shopping, well, this is ideal. And look, this gives us a view, look, so you can sort of see behind me. There's the airport, look, just over there. And can you see that Kalima in the sky? It's all in my mouth, which is why I'm gagging for a drink. Dead, look. Absolutely dead. There's never anybody in here. Look. Heaven if you don't like people. It's ideal for me. It's ideal, look. All your ice creams, all your drinks. I need to find a bloody cold one though. I certainly don't want a room temperature, but it's fully air conditioned in here, and that's one thing. This is what I'm going to do for the day. I should just get a bottle of water. I've only got massive ones. I might get a bottle of water, but I've got to get Diet Coke as well. Coke's it. I need a bit of energy. The heat just takes it out of you. So I think what we'll do is we'll hit the big Chinese warehouse. We're going to have a little nose around there, because you know we always have fun in there. And I think we'll go to Dayland, because I need some pants. My pants are threadbare, but you know when you've got that pair of pants that you just are comfortable in. Well, I've got about 10 of them, and they need replacing. I'll tell you what, they need replacing. It's time to get some new pants, you tight git. Right, come on, let's get a bottle of water and let's get out of here. It's that empty here. There's no one to serve you either. Like, literally no one. No one at the till. Might just shoplift. Sometimes you wish there were machines, don't you? Look, them two can see me standing here. They've just buggered off. Are we going to start on a bad vibe, Mr. Travelon? Unbelievable. Right, I'll wait here, shall I? Right, I've been served, but before I go anywhere else, I'm going for a wee. I'll see you in 3. It said the toilets were downstairs. I might see you in 10. Oh, I've come the wrong bloody way. Big sign, toilets, with an arrow pointing down. Let's try that again, shall we? Anyway, before we leave there. Found them. Right, I'm going for a wee. I'll see you in 3. Little Diet Coke break. Do you remember that advert with the sexy man? Well, I'm reliving memories for you ladies. The Coke Zero break with me, Mr. Travelon. Right, I think the best thing for us to do is head over to Dayland, because the big Chinese warehouse is right by the garage. I think we'll end there, because then we get more time messing around. It's now about, it's almost coming up to about 1:15. That place closes at 3, so we haven't got too long. And let's see how long it takes. They're going to ring me when it's ready, but I'm definitely going to be back there well before 3. Right, I've just popped into this hardware store. It's a smaller version of the big one in Arrecife, but I'm actually looking for a workbench. That's something I am looking for, like a workbench that I can put like a saw on top. Well, I'll tell you why if I find one. I don't know whether they sell them in here. They got loads of stuff. I do like hardware stores. Little observation about a hardware store, and I don't want to offend anybody, but, well, I'm going to ask you the question anyway. You know me. I'm always honest and upfront. If you don't like it, scroll on. I don't think they're going to have what I need in this smaller version of the big hardware store, but we will go to the big one because I've got to pick Jack up at 5:30, so I'm picking the car up at 3. I've still got 2.5 hours to kill. But on the subject of hardware stores, now, I don't want to come across as a sexist pig, but maybe I am. But when I go to a hardware store, now, there are both men and women working in hardware stores, and I've not got a problem with that. Usually, I'll be honest with you, in most of them, it's the ladies that like do the till and do all the checking out and stuff like that, and it's the men on the shop floor. I'm not saying ladies can't do the heavy lifting, but they're doing the heavy lifting and then advising, you know, us DIYers on, you know, which cement to buy, what tool do I need for this. But there's a couple on the island where there's more women on the floor than there is men, and I just look, this sounds really bad, and if you take offence by it, well, that's your problem, not mine. But I always go into a hardware store, and like, if I see the lady like on the shop floor and can I help you, I'm like, oh no, you're all right. I go looking for the bloke, and this is not because I don't think the lady's going to be able to offer me the advice I need. It's just that, being a man, I wouldn't be asking Mrs. Travel On which screwdriver I need for this, would I? I don't know. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I terrible for saying that? If I am, you know, you're all entitled to your opinion. It's just my observation. I would prefer in a hardware store, if I need help on buying one of these, for example, or what one of these do I need, or I've got this problem, or this is leaking, here's a photo of it, any ideas? I always go straight to the bloke. I try and swerve the ladies. Who am I to say who can and can't do anything? My mum worked in a hardware store, but I think she worked behind the till. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm out of here. There's the butchers. I've taken you in there before. We're not going to the butchers today. And there's not one, there's not two, but there's 3 giant tat shops, which is the big Chinese warehouses. I've shown you most, but my favourite one is the one over there by the garage, so we'll go into there in a bit. But this is where it is, look. And I think I explained earlier, or last time in the video, why all the signs are black and white. Well, this was another government idea, because they've got nothing better to do with their lives. Like the Aldi sign you see there, the only one that isn't is the Nicky Park. But everything's black and white, look. And they said that that goes and fits with the look of the island. I don't like it. What do you think? It really does crack me up that is their priority. Look. Oh, come on, let's have a meeting. How can we make things better in the world? I know. Let's make all the shops in Playa Honda have black and white signs. Look. I think it looks horrible. What are your thoughts on that? I just don't get it. It's like swings and roundabouts. They're painting all these white and black, but yet everywhere you look is the bloody rainbow flag everywhere and the rainbow benches. I'm not against that either. I'll tell you what's controversial video this, isn't it? I'm not against that either, but come on. Have you not got more important things to do when working in government and spending our taxpayers' money than sitting there, sipping on your wine at dinner? Oh, I know, let's get these local businesses to put their sign black and white. Won't that look fantastic? Absolute joke. Here you go, here's another one. So this is the new underpass that they built as well. And look at the size of the cycle lane. How many pissing cyclists are they expecting to cycle down here? I know you lot cycle 10 abreast, but come on. And where's it leading to? From there to there? Jesus. I knew today would turn into a rant. I knew it. Can't help myself, can I? Can't help myself. But no, it just seems that the priorities of governments and stuff these days is just ridiculous. Do you not agree? It's just, they're not fit for purpose, none of them. Absolutely none of them. But there you go, biggest cycle lane ever. And then, well, it's just to get you from underneath there. But this took quite a bit of time. They built this, took ages to build that. So it's like a new underpath, which is handy and safer than the last one to walk down into Playa Honda. So you've got Playa Honda down here, and then you've got Dayland here. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, because I usually walk that way. Let's walk into Playa Honda. I'll show you a little bit, and then we'll swing and go up towards Dayland. There you go. Something I ain't shown you before. Let's go. So welcome to Playa Honda, a residential area here in Lanzarote, just by the airport. Some people stop here on holiday, most don't. Some people stop here on holiday. It isn't really a holiday place, but there's quite a few bars and restaurants down here and the big Dayland shopping centre. So let me take you around and show you. Let's go. So you've got a big Euro spa here. So this is like the spa, but the Euro spa is the bigger version. A little bit like the Hipadino Expresses and the normal Hipadinos, or back home, your Tesco's and your Tesco Express. That'd be a big Tesco's. Right, what we got down here? Well, we've got a Turkish kebab place, look, that's closed. Closes Tuesdays. Guess what day it is today? What else we got? You've got a shop there that sells tobacco and vapes, hairdressers. It's that sort of place. I mean, there's not too much for tourists along this bit, but as you get down to the front, I've shown you before, there's loads of bars and restaurants on the front. But here, look, you've got a pastry and coffee shop there, look. Another hairdressers, keeping the hairdressers busy, look. Another fusion cuisine there, look, big barbecue place, look. That looks nice, look, they do a big barbecue, look. Oh, Saturday, half chicken and chips. Friday, costillas, oh, ribs and stuff like that. So specials on different days. And whilst it's a local place, well, obviously they welcome tourists down here as well. And you do get quite a few down here, if I'm honest with you. Look, you can see it. Really nice bars and restaurants, look. Little wine bar there, that's beautiful. Let's have a little look in here. Wow, look at that. That is gorgeous, look. Little wine bar if you like your wine. And they've got all the different wines, look, on display. That is nice. Fantastic, look. So they've got all the wine. Wow, look.
Yeah,
so it's all about wine in here then?
It's all about wine in here.
Well, there you go. It's fantastic. Wow, you've got so many different varieties as well.
Yes. Wow.
There you go. Excellent. So come and see this lady. You speak English as well?
Oh, yes, I do speak English.
Are you English?
No, I am German.
From Germany. Is this your place?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Do you get many tourists around here?
Yeah, tourists are coming, but obviously we are a place in a residential area, which we wanted.
Yeah.
But now people are coming because...
So what's this place all about? What do you do?
It's about Rioja wines from small producers. We only do small wineries. So even if you are into wine, it's very likely that you step in here and you don't know any of those wines. So we always like to talk to our clients, what you like, what is your preference, and then we'll find a nice wine for you. Obviously we do Lanzarote as well. Yeah. But we do Lanzarote with the same attitude, only small producers. So the big players, Lanzarote,
the big ones.
They are not here. We are only doing the small stuff.
There's a lot of people that like wine tours and stuff like that, so they can just pop down and see you, can't they?
And we do wine tastings next door.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
We do wine tastings.
Come and see this lady. She is going to sort you out. I'm going to get some more information. I don't drink wine, but my wife does, so maybe I'll come down and do a video and you can show everybody what it's all about.
Oh, okay.
All right? We'll do that. There you go. Always worthwhile just having a walk around. You never know who you're going to meet. Lady does wine tasting here, look, next door. So they do a wine tasting thing. And she actually does a wine tasting excursion. So we've exchanged numbers and I'm going to get in touch with her and see if we can get that on the website. Wine tasting. A lot of winos out there, isn't there? A lot of you. You're always messaging me, wine, wine, wine. I'm like, I don't bloody know about wine. Well, I'll show you when we go back there. They've put these in. Now, this was my idea about the love locks. Imagine that as a love lock thing. So you could actually put your love locks on that. They've used this as bottle tops for some reason to sort of recycle bottle tops. That's a stupid, well, it's not a stupid idea, but it's certainly not the best idea, is it? That would be perfect for love locks. That was my idea. Get one of them, where all these love locks are being put up, vandalism, let people put their love lock on, let people throw the key inside, and also have a little box for donations. And that way, they can make. You can raise money for charity. For charity. Yeah, big truck coming down there. So that way they can raise money for charity, can't they? But knowing the government, it'll go straight into somebody's back pocket. Greed. Looks like they're building here as well, so they're constantly building around here. And I'm not going to walk all the way down to the front because I want to go in Dayland and go in lefties, see if I can find some pants. So that essentially is the pedestrian street, and as I said, down on the front, if you just keep walking, you'll end up down on the front, and there's plenty of places down there. But I am going to go this way and back up towards Dayland. And if this place is open, called Pico Rico, I have to show you this. I don't know why these are not in tourist resorts. These are amazing places. This is where you go. This is like fast food, but in the Canary Islands, but none of your McDonald's and Burger King. This is where you get your dinner. If you're a mum, or you know, if you got dinner with the family, you can come in here and get all your little bits. Let me show you. This one is the best one I've ever found on the island. It's called Pico Rico, and I think they should have them in tourist resorts. What do you reckon? Let me show you. You can come in here, look. You can get your chicken wings. You can get your little pastries, look. Chicken nuggets for the kids. Big empanadas, look, €3. Calamari. Massive sort of tortillas. Croquetas. You've got literally everything. And you just get like a little box of them. This is my favourite, look. You can get kebabs. Beautiful Spanish sausage. And then you can have all the potatoes and everything. Even the chips to go with it. Huge fresh paella made every single day, look. And you can order it in all these different boxes, so you can have different sizes. I love the place. I absolutely love it. Little boxes here, look. You can get rice. You can get all your salad, so you don't even have to make a salad. Come and get your salad, look, your vegetables, your Russian salads. Of course, your roast chicken as well, which comes with gravy. So you get this in like a tin foil box with gravy, look. You've got your chicken breast with all the sauces. You can have just a chicken leg. You can have fresh fish, tuna. Wow, look at that. It's like €3, €7 for a full one. You're not going to find that in holiday resorts, are you? €7 for a full chicken. And there you go. These are the little pots, look, that you get. Filling it up, get more in. Oh, here you go. This is a full chicken, look. This is how it comes. In there. Whoa. €7, €7. Solo. Wow. In Playa Blanca, 10. 10 para un pollo. Muy barato aquí en Playa Honda. Look at that. Fantastic. Yes. You've got a full menu here. I love it. It's the best. Get in and see these. Like, look. Get and see them. They'll sort you out. Adios. There we go. That was Pico Rico. And then there's another place here. Look. What do these do? Oh, pizza. Oh, these look at these pizzas. Wow. Look at the size of them. Hola. Look at the size of them. Whoa, muy grande. Woo. Look, you got these, you got there. So you can come and get Italian pizza here. Gracias. There you go, right there. So there are quite a few places here in Playa Honda if you want to come down, grab yourself something to eat and eat like a local. You lot always moan at me, don't you? Why are you showing us Indian restaurants and fish and chips? Well, that is essentially how the locals eat. Well, it's not. They cook as well, but if you sort of get to that point where you say, oh shit, you know, I've got nothing out for dinner. I haven't defrosted anything. So if I lived here, I tell you what, I'd be in Pico Rico every single day. Just chicken, chips, fish, tuna, chips, paella, whatever you want. You can feed the whole family, can't you? I think it's a great idea. I think they should bring more of them into tourist resorts, if I'm honest with you. I think they'd be a fantastic thing. Would you use them? Let me know in the comments. Would you use them? I don't know. I certainly would. I suppose you lot all eat out, don't you? Maybe it is better in residential areas. I don't know. But I wish there was one in Playa Blanca where I live. Anyway, we're going to head up this way, up to Dayland Shopping Centre, I think. Unless I've got completely lost. Look, you got another hamburger place there, and that's the sea down there, so that's the main front of Playa Honda, where there are some more sort of touristy places, because it's a lovely walk there. But I'm gonna head this way, past the hamburger place. Look, very popular. Again, look, and cheap as well. A bar opposite as well, called Hawaii Bar. So it is sort of 100% a residential area here. But the controversy of the apartments and things all being let out to tourists. There's a lot around here that are holiday homes, and this is the problem. This essentially is where people live, you know. I mean, look at it. You're sort of on top of each other. You know, they're only like, well, they're sort of big houses and small houses, but it's a residential area, and there are ones here for sure that are rented out. Why do I know this? Well, we get a lot of people booking excursions, and they say where they're stopping for pickup. And Playa Honda, we get a lot of people that are stopping in Airbnbs in Playa Honda. Now, there is a pickup if you're stopping in Playa Honda. I'm not going to say don't stop in Playa Honda. It's your holiday. It's your right to book. But please, try not to. And I don't know if anybody owns a holiday home here. Well, you know, I don't want to ruin your business and everything, but I think you should be booking a holiday in resort. It's probably a bit cheaper to stay out there. But in saying that, it swings and roundabouts. You've got lovely little bars and restaurants and businesses there, haven't you? That realistically could make money from tourism. So where do you draw the line? You know what I mean? Do you say only book in resorts and then the little businesses don't attract the tourists? But then again, they opened a business in a residential area, didn't they? So they didn't open it for essentially for tourism. And Pico Rico's always busy anyway. I don't think they'll be struggling. But I do think that this place is made for people to live. And this is the big argument here and the big problem, that nobody's got anywhere to live. The rents are too high and the landlords are renting out to tourists, which I understand as well, because, well, you make more money and you have less headaches. You know, if I moved into this house here, for example, me, Mrs. Travel On and the boys paid rent for a couple of months. Oh, sorry, Mr. Landlord, got into a bit of financial difficulty. Can't pay you at the moment. Mr. Landlord can't get us out for maybe 2 years. Never going to see that 2 years rent anyway. Again, lost money. So I understand from landlord's point of view as well why you would choose to rent to tourism. I would, wouldn't you? Anyway, that's a debate for another day. And we've talked about that quite a lot, haven't we? So different opinions, different ideas. I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. One thing I do know though, those people that should be solving the solution clearly haven't got the skills or the brains or the mentality or actually want to solve the problem, do they? They just want their free backhanders, their expensive lunches and their photo opportunity. Unbelievable. Same worldwide. Right, we are now near to Dayland. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just on the way to Dayland, and they've already called. The part has been fitted. Probably going to cost me an absolute arm and a leg. Could I have fitted it myself? Probably, if it's that easy and has took that much time. So now I have to walk all the way back. So I shall see you at the garage. I'm going to head back, pick the car up. We'll swerve Dayland today because you've seen it enough times. Of course we're going to hit the big Chinese warehouse, and I am going to get some pants, maybe from Decathlon. If I don't get them from Decathlon, maybe we'll go Dayland. Let's go searching for pants. What a life I lead. Well, that was bloody quick, wasn't it? I didn't actually want it to be quick because I don't have to pick Jack up till 5 o'clock and it's now 2:20. So I've got 3 hours to kill. You're coming with me. Don't worry, this video is not going to be 3 hours. 187 euros. 1 hour's labour at how much an hour? 60 euros for the hour. Is that good? Let me know in the comments if that compares to England. 60 euros an hour for the labour, and the part was 121.52. Then you've got to add EGIC on. Also, let me know, do they do this in England and Ireland, or is this a Spanish thing? They've left me the part. They do this to prove that they've changed the part, which I suppose is good, isn't it? So you can see. But what the hell am I meant to do with this now? Keep it as a souvenir? Throw it in the bin? Keep it as a spare look? Keep it as a memory of, you see my cable tie-in? That's how I fixed it. Did I actually need to fix it? I don't know. Any mechanics out there? Could I have just driven like that? It closed the hole up, so have I just spent 187 euros unnecessarily? I don't know. Do they do that? Do they give you the spare parts back home? What the pissing hell am I meant to do with that now? I'm left. I'm going to pay 187 euros and I'm left to dispose of things. Unbelievable. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I don't know. I don't care anyway. I'm going to take you to Decathlon as well to have a look at the pants. We're going to talk chafing. Let's talk about chafing and pants you need to stop chafing if you're coming on holiday. Come on. Right, we're heading in to Decathlon. This is the big sports shop. I don't know if I've took you here before. I'm going to show you all the stuff they do in here, and I'm going to get the solution for chafing. Right then, look at the size of this place. Everything you could possibly imagine. Football section, the diving section around here, look. These are cool if you're here on holiday, look. You can get these snorkel masks, these are fantastic. $19.99, much better than a normal snorkel because you can actually like get a full view and you can go and breathe under the water and dive down. This one comes with flippers, look, for $29.99. Dirt cheap as well. And your other snorkels. All your professional gear, look, your Cressy, look. These are the expensive ones. Oh, I like them. I've always been into a bit of snorkeling. Diving, not so much. Snorkeling, I quite like floating at the top and seeing that underwater world below us. You've got all your diving stuff here. This place is one of the places you come to and you walk out with a new hobby, don't you, which you're never going to do, like fishing or kayaking or something like that. I do anyway. And then what I bought goes in a drawer. As well as stuff for the chafing look, here in Decathlon you can get all sorts of stuff for your holidays, like your flip-flops, your sandals, your bloody Crocs. Look at that, even Sharky Crocs. And they're real ones as well by the looks of them. Genuine Crocs, look. $27.99. Madness. All your swim stuff, loads of swim stuff, bikinis. Maybe cheaper than the old Chinese warehouse, I'm not sure. And your sort of Hawaiian shorts and things like that. So there's plenty if you're on holiday. If you forget something, you can come here. And one thing they do is these. Here we go, swim shoes, look. $9.99. These are fantastic if you're going to the water park, especially Siam Park in Tenerife. So you can grab these, $9.99, and they'll save you an absolute fortune because in Siam Park and the water parks, they're a lot of money, and your sliders as well. So there's all sorts of stuff if you forget when you come here on holiday. So again, you've got all your sun stuff to keep the kids safe, your towels, little bikinis for the kids, your swim stuff, look. These are pretty cool. These are pretty cool, look, if you've got kids with you. It's ideal. If you've got a car and you can pop up here, do it. I bought one of these. I've got two of these sat in the wardrobe at home. Now, I've told you about my kite flying experience. I tried it once and I lost my rag with it. And this is the problem with this shop. Everything in here is a hobby where I will just lose my temper. So I try to get out of here before I start a new idea. All your camping stuff here, look, these are fantastic. Look at them. All your tents, these are good for the beach. If you want to stay out of the sun, look. Got all your sun stuff and your proper tents and stuff like that. Loads of camping stuff here. If you like camping, you're rocking and rolling. Look, you can have a full setup here. Full setup. Blow up beds, look. Literally everything in here. Not sure about camping though. Again, camping is one of them things which I thought was a good idea. We did it once. We went down Papagayo beaches. The heat was incredible. The noise, people didn't go to bed until 3 in the morning, playing the ukulele, walking past the tent. Oh, I'll tell you what, we did one night, we were booked in for 2. I woke up in the morning, I made some sausages on a shitty disposable barbecue, and I said, shall we go back to the air conditioning? And everybody put their hand up and said, let's get out of here. It all seems, this shop is one of them shops where it all seems marvellous, doesn't it? The smell, look, of this beautiful board, look. You look at this and you think, oh, look, that could be me with the kids having a little paddle along the shore. Absolutely not. The minute you stand on that, you're arse over backwards in the bloody water and you're paying 100 odd euros for it to sit in the garage. That's Decathlon all the way. Anyway, Chafing. Look at this. The size of that. Now that looks exciting, doesn't it? But again, it's not as exciting as you think. That would certainly not be my face. Can you imagine me on that? It would not, that would not be the reality of, it would not be real. I would get on that, I would start going out, the wind would blow, and by the time, you've seen that Only Fools and Horses episode where Rodney O'Dell is out in the middle of the ocean? That would be me. The reality would be that. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. It all seems fantastic. It's like this place gets you and starts saying, wouldn't this be a fantastic thing for you to do in your life? By the time you've bloody decided, you loading the car up with a tent, you're going camping, and you have the shittest time ever. Hiking boots, another thing. I bought two pairs of hiking boots from here. Have I ever hiked? Have I bollocks? Have I bollocks? I think I've walked from Porto del Carmen to Porto Calero. That's hardly a hike, is it? But again, you think, right, come on, let's get I bought the whole family hiking boots. Let's get some hiking boots. Be a fantastic family adventure. We'll go hiking, go walking in the mountains. No thanks. These are good for the beach. Look, ponchos, adult ponchos, $29.99. Look, $29.99. Are they Rain Max? You're certainly not going to need them. And you've got all sorts here. T-shirts are cheap. Look, $4.99. Look, workout T-shirt, $8.99. There you go. Some of the stuff in here is not too bad. Still used to be a lot cheaper. I mean, your branded stuff's still mega expensive. You do get the old Opportunidad look. Ultimate Opportunity. Puma T-shirt, how much reduced? $9.99. So you can pick up some bargains in the Opportunity section. And these shorts, quite like these shorts, look. I had a pair of them. They cost me a lot less than 24 and 18 euros. I can tell you that now. I got them from the UK. So it's not that cheap in here. All your surfer dudes come in here as well and get their surfboards and stuff. Another thing I don't think I'd ever try. What am I here for? This is the problem as well. You come in here for pants and you end up buying a bloody basketball and a net. Can I spin it? See that? Another waste of money that I bought from here was an outdoor basketball thing for the kids. This is another thing. Bring kids in here. God help you. Oh, Dad, we can have one of them. We can have one of them for the garden. Never used it. Never used it. It just went rusty. Got all your basketball stuff here. Look, some pretty cool clothes. But we're going this way. Oh, somebody has parked incorrectly, and it isn't me. Here's another archery. We bought one of them, $39.99. I think they've only used that once. This is all your pet stuff, and this is all like your hunting stuff. Now that's something I could get into. I couldn't shoot an animal, but I could certainly let a few human beings off into the wilderness and camo myself up with a gun. Go proper hunting. And look, you've got all these knives and stuff here as well. They're pretty cool. Oh, I wanted one of these. 38 euros. Might get myself one of them. Mrs. Travel on Christmas maybe. Get me a Swiss Army knife. And these hats look cool. Dun, 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 dun. Look, Indiana Jones hat. I like that. What do you reckon? Get me gun. Let some people off their leash in the middle of the volcanoes, and off we go. Hunting. Couldn't shoot a deer like. There's a bloody dog in here. Bloody woman's brought a German Shepherd in. Bloody hell. Fishing. It's another thing I tried once and I'll never try again. But you can get the full set there. Look, $29.99. If you're coming on holiday, these are quite good. Look. You can come and get a full set of fishing gear. Bloody hell, German Shepherd. Oh look, you've got all the fishing gear here. All the gear, no idea. That would be me with fishing. I didn't even know how to tie all the bits on and all the, what they called the floats and the leads and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I digress. We're not fishing. Right, I found socks. I'm assuming if there's socks nearby, there'll be pants. Do you know what? I'm probably not even going to buy any of these bloody pants. And they've moved everything around as well. I used to know where everything was in here. Now I'm lost. Do you want to become the type of person that Mr. Travelon is going to scream and shout and loathe on a daily basis? If you are, this is the place to be. Come and get yourself dim bike. Hit the streets of Lanzarote or the main roads of Lanzarote on one of these, and you could annoy Mr. Travelon on a daily basis. Let's have a look. This annoys me. It's okay if you want to drive down the middle of the road and nearly kill yourself, but your child has no choice, and it's people that drive these down the bloody road without helmets on. Absolute monstrosity. If I had a bike, I'd have one of them, because have you ever sat on a bloody bike? Bloody hell, if you haven't got hemorrhoids, by the time you get off, you have. These are the good ones, $3,499 for that, look. It's an electric one, you don't have to pedal. In all honesty, these, I can deal with these types of cyclists because they're usually cycling on the street. It's the other ones that I can't deal with, and you know exactly who they are. And I don't think they get their bikes from here, because these seem to be more mountain bikes. Mountain bikes I can deal with because you're in the mountains, you're out of my way. Getting to and from work on a mountain bike is fine. You need to get from A to B. I have got no problem with that. It's these lycra clad people in all their special lycra gear on them stupid bikes, riding 3 or 4 abreast, having a chat to each other and thinking that their shit don't stink. That is what I don't like. You know who you are, and you know that you are that as well. There's no getting away from it. There's no denying it. You are exactly what you say on the tin. Right, I've still got to find these pants. There you go, look. Found myself a bird. Get me that hunting gear quick. This is what you need if you chafe on holiday. Whether you be man, woman or child, there's nothing worse than having a chafe, is there? This is amazing stuff. It's anti-friction. You rub it between your chaps, rub it between anything that rubs together, and it works a treat. Carry it with you, put it on a regular basis, and it just really does work. There's another one here which is like a stick version as well. I just go straight with the cream. The more cream between the legs, the better. Feels nice too. Also, if you have already chafed, you can stick this on and you won't over chafe, as in you won't chafe on chafe. And it sort of heals a little bit as well. Just get the Sudocreme on the night time and put this on during the day. So there's all the stuff. Look, you've got anti-mosquito stuff. Oh, there you go. You can get all your sun creams here as well. After Sun $5.99, actually quite cheap. So you get all your after suns and stuff like that. All your exercise stuff. I don't know what these are. Special glasses, bags, luggage. Bit of luggage in there. But this is the bad boy. This is what we need. To complement the cream, special Decathlon pants of a certain material works wonders. I'll find them and I'll tell you exactly how they help the chafing or chafing, whatever you call it. Right, as well as a cream, this is what you need from Decathlon to stop chafing, or any place that sells dry boxer briefs, or they're sort of like a lycra feel. Dare I say, they're like the pants for the cyclists of this world. It doesn't mean you have to be a complete tool and a cyclist, but it will keep you from rubbing, okay? Get yourself some of these in this material. They're top drawer. They also do them in this style. But if you're wearing pants like that, well, you may as well be wearing nappies. Get the boxers. They are not going to work, okay? You have to get the boxer style, and they fit like a glove. They're really comfortable. They're really soft. And as I said, they'll stop you chafing. Right, come on. After all that pant searching, I ain't paying €16 for 3 pairs of pants. I'd rather We're the ones that are wearing out. When they get holes in them, I'll consider it. They were dirt cheap last time. They were, I think, €3 each. You saw how cheap they were in the Chinese. I will go and have a look in the Chinese warehouse, or I'll go to Lefty's in Dayland. I'm going to get this because the amount of walking I do, well, I need to assure that I'm not chafing and I have anything more to nag and moan about. That has been a day in the life of Mr. Travel-On. I now have to go and pick Jack up. Happy days, happy watching. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, follow and subscribe. And don't chafe anymore. See you later. Bye.